You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent.
Wow. I have heard it called everything from jaw-dropping to off the rails. A press conference that was supposed to be talking about infrastructure turns into that. And this was supposed to be a day we remember this woman, Heather Heyer, in Charlottesville, the woman killed in the violence over the weekend.
Say her name! Say her name! Say her name!
There is a memorial for Heather today, and a memorial is supposed to be a time when the healing can begin, but that is not going to happen today. Omar Jimenez is in Charlottesville right now with the very latest this morning. Omar, what's the feeling on the ground there this morning? And again, this is supposed to be a memorial. We're supposed to move on from here.
So there are two parts to that question. So one, today, as far as the actual memorial goes, the effort is to try and focus on Heather. The family is asked not to bring any signs or anything of that nature out of respect for Heyer's memory. Also, no backpacks, food or drink or things of that nature as well. The sign in the marquee reads, says Heather's name and says gone but not forgotten. And then the second aspect to your question focuses on President Trump's words yesterday, and we went around speaking to Charlottesville residents, and many were in disbelief at the words he was saying and said that that his words did not represent who they were. So, and it is important to remember that President Trump walked his words back to what they originally were, the theme at least, on Saturday when he blamed that violence on many sides. So there are two parts to trying to move on. One is today focusing on Heather's memory, and the second is trying to move past, at least for many residents, President Trump's words during that impromptu press conference yesterday. Kevin?
The question now is, what has this done to the situation? Usually when we see violence like this, it's diffused, people move on. The white supremacists have been empowered by this. We've seen that in their social media and their reaction. Do you get a feeling on the ground there that maybe, sadly, the violence may not be over in Charlottesville?
Well, that's certainly the thought at the back of many people's minds, but they hope that it never gets to that portion again. So you will see people out making sure, whether it's security, police officers, or as we mentioned in that in those guidelines, they don't want any signs or weapons or anything of that nature that could potentially inflame a crowd if there were to be protesters or anything of that nature. So the scene on Saturday, excuse me, the scene on Saturday was a very grim scene for the city, for the state, and for the country as a whole. Today, again, that focus is meant to be on Heather Heyer, someone who is described by her friends and family as someone who stuck up for what she believed in, and that theme and that memory is set to be the focus today. And as far as the mayor is concerned, the governor, and those here on the ground in Charlottesville, that's what they hope the focus is, rather than that rhetoric coming from the president just yesterday. Kevin?
All right, Omar Jimenez in Charlottesville, thank you very much for this. The memorial gets underway at 10 o'clock this morning in Charlottesville. Let's just hope and pray that it remains as peaceful as the family hopes.